Sportz Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama, touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sportz Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into this Sportz Blitz Live edition. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock this evening. A lot to talk about, as there is each and every Tuesday evening. Auburn falls to South Carolina. Alabama falls to Kentucky, but they will play each other tomorrow night in the Auburn Arena. We'll talk about that game, set that game up as we move forward tonight. As many as 9 teams being talked about being in the NCAA tournament, probably the deepest SEC field we've seen, and I can't remember when. Luke, baseball, softball seasons beginning on the mound. Andy Kennedy out at Ole Miss. Andy Cannizzaro, baseball coach, out at Mississippi State as he resigned today. Louisville having to get back championships, 2013 championship. A lot going on, a lot to talk about tonight.
Well, the worst of all of it you hadn't even mentioned, and that was the national anthem sung by Fergie on the NBA All-Star game. That was
I missed that one.
You still haven't seen it?
Oh well, I've seen about it.
Somebody
wasn't
tweeted,
watching
and I
it.
thought this was appropriate, that Fergie's voice kneeled during the anthem. I mean, it was Colin Kaepernick thought it was disrespectful, is what somebody else tweeted. It was as bad of a national anthem as I've ever seen. I think it was so bad that it unified. The
way she did it.
You know, the country is so big when it comes to singing, making it your own. You know, I think Randy Jackson from American Idol sort of started that, right? Well, she tried to make the national anthem her own. And there's only been one person who's ever put a little bit of a twist on it and really been successful, and I think that's Whitney Houston. I mean, you know, and that was a time in the country, we were at war, everything, you know, and it was just perfect timing. Fergie's rendition was so horrific and sad and such a cry for attention, and it took away from the people who were really wiping the sweat from their brow were probably Kevin Hart and whoever else did the intros for the players, which just lasted an excruciatingly long time, and it really wasn't funny. And I like Kevin Hart; he's funny. I like Rob Riggle; he's funny, but that just wasn't a good setup. And then so they went to those two guys who have probably oversaturated the market, right? Kevin Hart's in every movie ever. He's in. Name a movie, he's in it. He was probably in Star Wars.
He's replaced Sam Jackson.
He's replaced, and James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones used to do every movie that there ever was. He was in movies that he wasn't born. You know, they just like put him back in. And then Rob Riggle he does all the NFL stuff for Fox, I think, and so he's everywhere. He's on a lot of commercials, Holiday Inn commercials. So they've oversaturated the market. And then Fergie, we hadn't heard from her in a while. I mean, I was kind of wondering, you know, Fergie's doing the national anthem. I mean, they're kind of reaching back in time a little bit, aren't they? And then she put this twist on it, and it was so bad she actually had to kind of apologize for it and say, you know, well, I tried to do my own thing, and it obviously didn't hit the right tone. And I'm like, I don't know if the pun was intended or not, but I think it was appropriate. It was one of those things where, again, it was so bad that I think it unified a country that's been so divided. Like, we all came together and said, okay, you kneel, don't kneel, do what you want to, burn the flag, don't burn the flag. Nobody likes that rendition of the national anthem. Yeah.
Do you normally watch the NBA All-Star game?
No. I mean, I have in the past, but there's...
Did the picking teams intrigue you?
It did, and that's why I kept turning back to it. Okay, so I'm really, you know, I'm usually... Tonight being an exception, I usually go to bed pretty early, right? And so I was lying in bed watching, and I said, I'm going to flip it over to the All-Star game. Well, I flipped it over, and they're doing the intros, and I realized very quickly they're doing like a comedic bit for every player, and they're not funny. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go through all, what are there, 24 players or however many players there are. I'm not going to sit through that. So then I flipped it back, about 10, 20 minutes later, and Fergie's singing the national anthem. And I didn't know it was going to blow up as bad as it was. I knew it was bad because I watched it for a few seconds. And people say the term cringeworthy now, like all the time, and it's gotten cliche. I literally, there were chills going down my spine going, this is so bad, I cannot watch it. I felt bad for her. So I changed it not knowing that Twitter was going to have a field day with it. And then Twitter had a field day with it, and it was magical.
Yeah, Ryan, I think we're going to have to see a little bit of it.
What's so proudly wave at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
got kind of a melodious,
Francis Scott
jazzy.
Key would have wadded up the paper he was writing on and said, I'm starting over. If he had known, that's what we were going to go with. I want her to get to the part where she goes, banner. It sounded like an old Chevy trying to get started. Can we fast? No, I tell you what, let's sit through it. I want y'all to sit through it. You were beginning to wonder if it wouldn't have been better if we had lost this war he was writing about.
Leave it to the NBA.
Here we go. There's a lot of this.
Does that star-spangled banner yet
See, that's how my Taurus tried to crank after I hit that deer.
I see.
It's,
That was bad.
It wasn't over. I mean, and they kept showing the NBA players during the whole thing, and like they weren't doing hands over hearts or anything. They stand like, with their hands behind their back. And at first you could see the shock and awe on their faces, and then they all started giggling. And the people in the crowd were giggling. They were, this can't be real, right? I mean, somebody's going to come out and save this, right?
Right.
It was bad.
Well, I don't know if there is a transition from that, but that the Louisville 2013 national championship vacated. We're in the age of vacations of national championships. Does it mean anything?
I think it's so dumb to vacate victories and titles.
Like 130 something victories?
Because number one, Reese Davis tweeted this out. He said, it happened. We saw it. Now, if you want to punish Louisville, and I'm all for it, I think the university was culpable here, then you hit them in their pocketbook. Mm-hmm. But is the NCAA going to give the money back? Is for the merchandise sales? For the merchandise sales on the national championship stuff that they sold? Are they going to give any money back? Are they going to give money back from the tournament, which Louisville helped bolster ratings because Louisville is a name brand? Nobody's giving anything back except Louisville's giving these wins, which don't mean anything because we all know they won it. Yeah. I think if I were the president of the NCAA, the first thing I'd do is go in there and say, look, everybody who's ever had a vacated win or a vacated title, you get them back now. And we're not going to punish you any further. But from this point forward, if you get in trouble, what I'm going to do is hit you in your pocketbook. And that will teach some people some lessons. People will start to listen. And if you find out that, okay, it's a $100,000 fine, that's not enough. Okay, a $500,000 fine. If that's not enough, keep bumping it up till you find the number where people stop doing whatever it is you want them to do, not do.
So what is this? The FBI probe continuing to go on? I mean, Louisville involved in it as well.
Yeah.
This doesn't even have anything to do with that. This is just going back way before all that stuff dropped. So could we see, are we in the era of, is it possible to give somebody the death penalty in this day and age?
It's so funny. I don't think they will because in basketball is where they make their money, right? The NCAA, first of all. And if North Carolina's not going to get in trouble. I mean, North Carolina's whole defense was, the way I understand it, and I'm speaking in generalities, but everybody could take this CRIP course. So it's not, what's the violation? Everybody could take this junky course that all of our athletes happen to take.
Yeah, our academic fraud is universal.
Exactly. I mean, if everybody's committing it, maybe nobody's committing it. I mean, it's such a bad defense, but it apparently worked. And so
not a single penalty.
they had
at
no
all
penalties
for a academic scandal that went on for 20 years.
Yeah, and really, I don't see. I mean, maybe they closed the loophole. I mean, I was so kind of disgusted with the whole thing. I mean, again, the NCAA picks and chooses, but this time their hand may be a little more forced because the FBI is investigating all these things. And I'll tell you, I talked about this on Saturday Sports Countdown when I called in. I was in Columbus, Ohio, and I called in while Randy and Brett were doing the show. And there have been some big-name reporters that have said, look, this could be a problem for as many as 50 power conference schools. Now, I think inclusive of that would be probably throw in a Villanova who's not in a power conference per se, but they're a powerful team. So, yeah, and I've also heard some rumblings that, look, if you think you're safe, you're probably not safe. Don't assume that whatever it is that you're safe. I would be very worried. I'm worried as an Alabama fan just because of the small situation with Colin Sexton. If I were an Auburn fan, I'd be very worried. I mean, and I'm just telling you, I think that it's kind of all throughout. I would be worried if I were a Vandy fan, a Georgia fan, whomever, because I think this game is about to be cleaned up for better or worse.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what is Auburn going? I mean, why should Auburn be worried? So they go back to what?
So
go back to what they're doing every other year?
Well, I mean, you still don't want the stink of.
At this point, what does it matter?
Oh, I mean, come on. See, that's poor. That's really sad outlook.
That's the way you look at the Auburn basketball program. We'll continue that over. Take this on to the other side. We're up against our first break here. Don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. At Main Street Family Urgent Care, we want you to know one of the benefits of our clinic. We have a self-pay option that allows you to get the most out of your visit. That means you don't have to worry about receiving a large bill after your visit. $125 covers all in-house labs, stitches, x-rays, or injections, and we have a selection of antibiotics available in the clinic. We want you to feel better fast at Main Street Family Urgent Care, open 7 days a week in Alexander City across the street from Walmart.
Heal better, feel better fast.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Give us a call, 256-234-6221, talking about the NCAA.
You broke that up very odd. It was like a European number the way you said it. 001-6642.
I'm having to.
661.
My breath is not quite, breathing is not quite as up to par as what it used to be, so I'm having to take breaths when I.
Well, first of all, welcome back. There have been a lot of people on Facebook Live that said, "Hey, Andy, glad to have you back." I mean, everybody's glad to have you back.
Yeah, and you appreciate that, Luke. I was very enthusiastic.
You know, I am. I called you earlier today and said, "Oh, happy."
Yes, you did. I appreciate it.
Throw me under the bus.
Whether I should be back or not, I don't know. But I'm trying it. I'm doing the best I can. Talking about the NCAA basketball tournament. Talking about the SEC as it stands right now. Just first and foremost, Andy Kennedy out at Ole Miss. You surprised about that?
No, I think it just he hit his ceiling.
What do you think? He been there 12 years?
He was the longest tenured coach in the league, wasn't he?
I think he had like 8 or 9 21 seasons. He'd been in the tournament maybe twice.
I want to say he'd been in the tournament 3 times.
3 times? That's,
20-win season isn't necessarily what it used to be.
That's true.
And especially with Ole Miss, because it's not like they play the most arduous schedule in the world. But and he also did it at a time when the SEC, I would say, was Kentucky, Florida, and then a whole bunch of nothing for the most part. But he still was arguably Ole Miss's.
He's all-time winning coach.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think though you look around if you're Ole Miss and you see Ben Howland at Mississippi State. Look, they haven't set the world on fire, but he's getting some good classes. You see, Auburn certainly improved. Alabama's improving. LSU, they're not great now, but they've got a couple of big signees coming for next year, and every year it seems like they're signing bigger and bigger classes. A&M's not going to go anywhere. I mean, they're going to have the resources to do well. And then Arkansas is Arkansas, and you say, who can we beat? And we got to do something, got to make some kind of splash. But here's the thing. Who's going to want to go there to make that splash?
It's a good question. I mean, 4-10 in the league this year, just certainly not getting it done. He announced he was going to stay to the end of the season, then abruptly said, no, let's make a clean break. And truth be known, that's probably the best decision to make.
No doubt.
Auburn's still at the top of the standings at 11-3. Just kind of one of those things. Had a 2-game lead going into pretty much a disastrous weekend for the top half of the SEC, as most everybody lost. But Auburn maintains that 2-game lead. Can they maintain that throughout the last 4 games of the regular season? We will wait and see. Who's the best team in the SEC, Luke?
I think it's
Tennessee?
Auburn.
I think it's Auburn.
I think it's Auburn, okay?
Well, let's say, a healthy Auburn, yes.
Well, but here's the thing: it's hard to get into that because first of all, everybody's kind of banged up right now, and I mean I know McLemore is more than banged up. I mean he's out 6 months potentially. So, so
what is the deal with dislocating ankles?
Let me tell you something. When I saw that, how do you call that a dislocation? I mean, I guess technically it is a dislocation. Didn't it look like worse than a dislocation?
Well, I mean it looked like the same thing as. What's his name from the Celtics?
The guy they just got from Utah.
Yeah.
who's from Butler. I can't
that weekend.
remember.
I don't remember.
I know.
That's what it looked like. I mean, he was laying on his back, and his foot was
going
flat.
that way. And I mean, it was almost pro throw-esque.
It was.
But it's hard
to hear him. I mean, on a football field, it's one thing, but in a small gymnasium, to hear him screaming
wailing,
like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't get away from it.
That was rough.
No, I think that's a great point. And that's the other thing is when you, as a basketball player, you are so much more vulnerable. You're out there, you barely have any clothes on.
That's true.
Let's tell the truth. I mean, in football, you've got all kind of stuff, and you've got gloves and you got helmets. Nobody can see your face. All that stuff. You can't even take your helmet off if you want to.
Yeah.
In basketball, I mean, when something like that happens and you've got nothing but anguish and fear on your face, which you could see it clearly, and anybody would have had it.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, it's scary.
It really is. So Auburn still, again, 23-4. Alabama 17-10, 8-6. Do you think this is a right where they need to be? Do you think this is an overachievement, an underachievement right now for Alabama?
I think it's right where they should be. Look, if you had told me this would be Alabama's record at this point in the season, I probably would say, okay, that sounds about right. I probably would have shifted around some wins and losses about who they beat and who they lost to.
What is the deal with them not being able to go on the road?
Well, they've gone on the road and they have defeated LSU on the road. They defeated Florida on the road. Unbelievably, they destroyed Florida on the road. And they've got two road games left. Now they were embarrassed at Georgia, and they lost a 1-point game to Vandy on the road. Mm-hmm. They were right there with Mississippi State, and really for a while right there with Kentucky.
Yeah.
And they just can't. They're too young to seal the deal in some instances. And I feel like we also haven't had the guy step up just yet. Whoever that is, somebody's got to take control of the game in very serious situations. And Alabama just doesn't have that guy yet. I don't know who it's going to be down the stretch, but it's going to have to be somebody. And it's not going to be Petty. Petty is so hot and cold right now, I think it's too much to ask for him to come to if he can just be simmering all the time instead of really hot and hit 10 threes against Auburn or just ice bucket cold. It's too much to ask that he find the middle right now. I think tomorrow night he's either going to be on fire or he's going to shoot Alabama out of the game.
4 games tonight: Mississippi State at Texas A&M, Ole Miss at Missouri, Kentucky at Arkansas, Vandy at LSU. As far as the 4 games coming down the stretch, Auburn, who I guess Tennessee is the one who started. Arkansas could conceivably make a run here, I guess, to win the SEC. We'll see. They do have Auburn on their schedule. There is no such thing as a tiebreaker in the overall SEC championship, right?
I think it'd be a shared championship, yeah. which is probably the best way to do it since everybody doesn't play everybody twice. I mean, you only get a certain amount. But Auburn didn't beat them in Tennessee.
That's true.
Now Gordon Hayward is who we're trying to think of. Thanks
Hayward.
to Justin Clayton for that. And John Coley called me out and said I was mean to you too. I wasn't trying to be mean to you. I wouldn't be mean to you. All we've done is talk about we need Andy back badly. Yeah. That's all we've discussed. You're our quarterback. That's my quarterback.
Yeah, that's my quarterback. Well, we're up against. On that note, we're up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. More of Sportz Blitz Live is on the way right after these messages.
Fall in love with the ultimate driving machine and lease a BMW X1 for only $319 a month at BMW of Columbus. See our selection of the all-new BMW X3 or X5 SAV. And loyal BMW customers receive up to $5,500 in incentives from BMW of Columbus.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937. 866-837-6937 or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Farnell Mechanical gives you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable.
Trust Farnell Mechanical to provide perfect air for your family.
What perfect feels like. Lennox.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down, plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Drivers, start your engine!
Green, green, green. Here we go. Time for racing. Go. Sunshine and a hot, slick track. Wow, that kid's having a blast. Go long, keep digging. Great job. What a perfect day for racing. That's what I'm talking about, boys.
The Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 will ignite all your senses, starting at just $44, and kids tickets are just $10 at AtlantaMotorspeedway.com.
Man, that's Atlanta.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air, your authorized East Central Alabama train dealer. Call Advanced Heating and Air. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Talking about the NCAA tournament. Right now, Joe Lunardi has, I think, 8 teams in. Georgia kind of on the outside looking in. Jerry Palm has Florida as that last team getting in for the SEC. As we mentioned, though, Mississippi State and Texas A&M playing tonight. Mississippi State winning that game right now.
Yeah, they're winning by 5 at A&M too. And, let's go back to Auburn and you say who's the best team in the league. And I think that is a very difficult question right now. I still do think it's Auburn. I think they play so hard, they get after you. I think they have a style and they run it. There are a lot of teams. I think Alabama's got a style, but they don't run it all the time. I mean, I think, there are a lot of teams in this conference that may be more talented than Auburn, but they don't have the chemistry that a team does. But I'll say this, I would bet against Auburn winning the SEC tournament.
Oh, yeah. Well, to be quite honest with you, I think if you're Auburn, you go 2-2 to finish out the regular season. I mean, I wouldn't mind just kind of resting a little bit, the SEC tournament, because it can only hurt you. I don't think it can help you, really.
That's one thing that's another reason that I dislike some of basketball's ways. I hate that we have a tournament that the team that already feels comfortable is like, I'm not really worried about it. And then teams that aren't very good can say, all we got to do is get hot for 4 games, and then we're in the big dance. I don't like that. I mean, but you're absolutely correct. I doubt the competitive nature of these players.
I've never been on this side of it.
Yeah. Well, I doubt that Bruce Pearl will say, you're going to see whoever this.
You're not going to see Patrick Kime starting.
Yeah. But see, I wouldn't go. That's the first name I went to, but I wasn't going to say that because I like him. I saw him play at Mountain Brook. He's a good kid. He's a great player.
I'm not saying he's not, but,
There you go, throwing somebody else on there.
Yeah, why not? It's a good night for it. Ken Auburn, there's always going to be some upsets, and there are going to be some teams that run the gauntlet in their conference tournaments. So when it's all said and done, how many teams does the SEC get in the NCAA tournament?
I've been saying 7. I know everybody likes to say 8, but I think there's going to be some dog eat dog.
Who gets left out?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't feel real strong if I were A&M right now. I mean, if you lose at home to Mississippi State, a team that is technically vying for a slot, even though neither Palm nor Lenardi have them in there. But if they win this game, I think they may begin to get some attention. The problem with Mississippi State is who's their biggest win? I mean, is it? I mean, it would probably be this A&M game.
81-80.
Did you say Florida?
I said Auburn.
Auburn, but they lost.
Didn't they?
Mississippi State
Oh,
beat
Texas
Auburn.
A&M. I was talking
Yeah.
Okay.
Auburn buried Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Now A&M has some good wins on their resume. They do have some good wins on their resume. They beat Kentucky. They beat Auburn. They lost to Alabama, and they lost to Alabama when they were ranked number 5. That was the first game of the conference season. So, and they had some folks suspended and another guy hurt. So, yeah, but A&M's is really been dropping some. They started out 0-5, I think, in the conference.
Yeah, they did.
And you thought they were going to, any minute now, they're going to catch fire. And then when they beat Auburn on the road, everybody thinks, okay, here comes A&M. Well, then they get hammered at Arkansas, and if they lose tonight, I don't know. I mean, their record is, that would make them 17-11 and 6-9. I mean, they've got to win out to have a winning conference record. I don't know if that's going to happen.
No, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't like their chances to get in there. You brought up a good point. We were talking during the break about Auburn. Right now, they're projected as a 2 seed. There's some talk, and I suppose if they won out, certainly they would be that 1 seed. But
totally,
almost you would rather be. Jerry Palm has them as a 2 seed in the Midwest. Joe Lenardi has them the 2 seed in the South. But number 1, they wouldn't be in the South if they were that number 1 seed, right? So 2 seed would be actually a better fit for them. How far could they drop? I mean, it's certainly conceivable. I hate to even look at it like this, but you could lose these last 4 games. How far could you fall? Probably, I guess maybe to a 4 seed would be the worst case scenario.
I think a 4 seed. If Auburn were to have a complete collapse, let's say go 1-3 down the stretch, I think 1-3 would be the worst case scenario for them. And then lose in the first round of the SEC tournament, which they'd still be a very highly ranked seed. The problem with this SEC tournament, and the problem with having all these folks grouped up in that same bunch, whoever Auburn plays when they play them in the tournament is going to be a hungry team. Like, we got a shot. We've got a shot. All we got to do, and especially if we beat Auburn. But I still think a 4 seed is low as they'll drop.
Yeah.
Now the NCAA committee has been known. If you remember when Kenyon Martin got hurt for Cincinnati, they were on pace to be the number 1 seed in the whole tournament. And Martin got hurt in the Conference USA tournament, and because of that, they dropped him to a 2 seed. They factored in his injury, and rightfully so, because I think they lost in the first or second round.
Yeah.
But they weren't the same team they'd been all year. So I guess it's going to do. Some of this will depend on how does Auburn look without McLemore.
Well, we'll find out in the next 4 games for sure. And that brings us to Wednesday night as Alabama comes rolling in to Auburn Arena, 7:30 on the SEC Network. Alabama won the first game 76-71. Alabama's a very athletic, probably one of the most athletic teams in the SEC. And everybody keeps talking about their length, and especially their length at guard. Auburn's one of the smallest teams in the SEC, if not the country. Now, and getting smaller, it seems like every day. But, it was still a single-digit type game. Alabama had to get really, really hot from the 3-point line. So, is that, do you continue to expect that again tomorrow night?
I expect Auburn to win tomorrow night. I expect them to come out on front.
Every Alabama fan I've talked to has said that, which makes me so nervous.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this as, okay, if Alabama wins this somehow, it'll be great. But that's the thing about basketball. Whereas the Iron Bowl is generally life-altering for at least a little while until you go to a national championship and win it on the last second. Basketball isn't that way. I mean, when Alabama beat Auburn in Tuscaloosa, I'm assuming you guys were kind of like, I hate that. Okay, well, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, and because all that matters is the tournament. So I think, look, I think Alabama could use the win a little more. If Alabama could get this win somehow, it could propel them. They could end up being a 5 or 6 seed if they do what they're supposed to do against Arkansas and if they beat Florida. And I mean, I'm not expecting them to go to A&M and win either. I'm expecting Alabama to go 2-2. Now, it won't shock me whatever 2 games they win or whatever 2 games they lose here wrapping up the season. They've got at Auburn, at A&M, home against Arkansas, home against Florida. You tell me the combination that it'll happen, and I'll say I can totally believe that based on what Alabama has done all year.
Okay. You can talk me into it. Up against another break here. Don't go anywhere. A little over-under when we come back right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with 0 down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for 0 down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
With the boat season winding down and the weather getting cooler, it's time to let Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road and winterize your boat and get ready for the off-season. The good guys can make all your off-season repairs, winterization, and upgrades easy and on budget. Remember, now's the best time for used boat prices and selection, and you can even pre-order next year's Landau pontoons and quality Suzuki outboards to get the perfect fit for next spring. Service, sales, and value all this off-season at the place the locals know, Alex City Marine. And don't forget to order your 2018 Manitou pontoons now.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Bills Electric is your local expert for LED lighting retrofits for commercial and industrial applications. Bills Electric can survey your facility and develop lighting retrofit solutions utilizing the latest in LED technology and controls. In many cases, energy savings alone can generate a payback of 2 years or less. Additionally, LED lighting has an expected lifespan of up to 100,000 hours. Call the Lamborns today at 256-234-4555.
New year, new you. It's the Start Something New sales event going on now at Bice Motors in Alex City.
It's cold outside, but the deals are hot inside.
Save up to $13,000 on remaining 2017 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Laramie 4x4.
If you ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
2018 Jeep Cherokee Latitude Package, only $19,700.
On the web at BiceChryslerDodge.com.
At A&M Plumbing, you can count on us for dependable, quality service. Our staff is professional, neat, clean, and courteous. We're a fully licensed and insured plumbing company. Call on A&M Plumbing for any plumbing, sewer, or septic problems. We provide a comprehensive line of plumbing repair and installation services to keep your home's plumbing systems in top order. When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing. Service at its best, when you need it most.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. a little over-under, Auburn and Alabama tomorrow night in Auburn Arena, 7:30 on the SEC Network. Game number 2. A fair amount of importance on this game. I don't think it certainly doesn't devastate either team, but it is for pride. Alabama has a chance to sweep the series, as Auburn, I believe, swept the series last year. All right, so
why you want to bring up old stuff?
Yeah, Alabama averaging almost 47% field goal percentage for the year. Auburn averaging almost 45%. So right about there. Let's put it at 45%. Who is the winner? I mean, the winner of this game, 45% over or under?
I would say over, and I think Auburn's going to drop bombs tomorrow night. I just feel like here's the thing: if Alabama were playing this game, if there were a game in between, if Alabama wasn't playing tomorrow night, they were playing Saturday, I'd feel better about it. Auburn's going to play, the win one for Macklemore game, and they're just going to drop bombs. I believe that.
Auburn has come in very sluggish the last several games. Has not shot the ball well at all. So it would seem like they're due, but for every Auburn fan, I can assure you, they're thinking, that it won't be this game.
Well, the other side of it is you could spin this around and say Auburn's kind of due for a market correction. They have won just about every tight game they've been in. I mean, Texas A&M being an exception. Alabama got tight towards the end, but for a little chunk of the second half there, Alabama they had a little lead. And then who's Auburn's other loss? They lost to South Carolina, and really South Carolina, they put it on them for a while. Auburn got within 5 on sheer emotion, but in the end, South Carolina turned it up. And then who's Auburn's other loss?
Temple.
That's it. They've only got 3 conference losses. And so what I'm saying is they're due a market correction, whereas you're saying they're due to get hot. I'm saying they've been pretty hot all throughout the year. So you could work both ways.
That being said, say they're a good shooting team.
They are a good shooting team. I think they win tomorrow night. I feel like I have to keep justifying anything even remotely negative I say. I think they're going to win tomorrow night.
80 points for the winner.
I'm going to say over.
Think so.
Yeah, I know it was 71, 76 last time, but yeah, definitely over.
Yeah, Auburn probably needs to get there. Mm-hmm. I think a low-scoring – I don't know. Does a low-scoring –
low-scoring game helps Alabama.
Think so?
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
13 turnovers for the winner. Alabama averaging 14, Auburn averaging 12.4.
Yeah, I think there'll be more than 13 turnovers. There have been times when I felt like some single players in Alabama's team have 13 turnovers.
Jared Harper had 9 turnovers against South Carolina.
Yeah, Frank Martin's D gets after you sometimes. Now, they haven't been the best this year, obviously, but they picked one heck of a game to have their best game of the year.
10 three-pointers. Last game, Alabama had 10, Auburn had 9. 10 three-pointers for the winner in this game.
I'm going to say over. Because I know Auburn's going to take their fair share.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Alabama's going to have to start taking some late out of desperation. So, I think there'll definitely be more than 10 made for whichever team wins.
40 rebounds for the winner in this game. Alabama averaging 36.2, Auburn averaging 38.3.
I'm going to go over.
You ought to be ashamed of that statistic.
Why?
That Alabama's out-rebounded. That Auburn is out-rebounding Alabama on average.
Well, I think part of it, you know what?
That's what they all talk about.
But I bet you, here's the part of Auburn. I wonder, I'm just guessing, that because Auburn takes so many three-pointers, they get a lot of kick-out rebounds. And so that probably gives them more offensive rebounds. I bet you Alabama has more defensive rebounds than Auburn. I don't know. You're the stats guy.
That would have been something to look at.
But when you take a lot of threes, you have a lot of long rebounds, and they lead to offensive rebounds.
Maybe.
But you've also lost Macklemore now, who was your best rebounder, and let's see how that affects you.
That's why I put it on here.
Oh, and that's okay. Okay, then.
40 over under?
I said over.
You said over.
Because I think there'll be a lot of rebounds.
Okay. A lot of rebounds in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the score.
I'll say Auburn 85, Alabama 81. How about that?
85-81.
Alabama hits a late three.
It looks like it'll be an entertaining game for sure.
It depends on who you're pulling for, I guess.
Well, any game in the 80s. would be up and down the floor, a lot of scoring. I mean, that game, it was like a rock fight against South Carolina.
It was.
And anytime.
And y'all took paper in the first half.
Yeah, we did. And anytime Alabama, it seems like any team, I guess when you're watching it, that they miss so many shots, it just makes so much for an ugly game.
Yeah, I'll say this, I think Auburn has been the most fun team in the league to watch too. I mean, every other team in the league has been, at times dreadful to watch. I mean, A&M's been really ugly sometimes. Mississippi State's been really ugly. Missouri was so bad. I mean, I felt like Auburn beat them so badly that they were like, okay, this snapped us out of it. They got on a run. They won 6 in a row or something until they lose to LSU. LSU has been abysmal at times. Georgia, my goodness, have they been bad. I mean, Auburn's made them look bad. Florida has been swept by Georgia.
Yeah.
Kentucky even. There have been times Kentucky just does not look like a good basketball team. I didn't think they looked like a great basketball team against Alabama. It looked like two teams trying to give the game away, and in the end, Alabama was better at that.
One more coaching change in the SEC, Mark Fox.
Well, Georgia's kind of back in the talk now.
This is what they always do, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, again, you talk about hitting ceilings. I don't think Mark Fox is ever going to be a guy who's going to take Georgia to a top 1 or 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, but they do have another 5-star committed for next year. And so I would have to assume Mayton's going pro, though.
Yeah. I think we have a phone call.
Let's go ahead and take it. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
This is Brian from Electric.
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
Elmore County beat Horseshoe Bend today in baseball 5-3.
Who beat Horseshoe Bend?
Elmore County.
Elmore County, okay.
And Atlanta beat BB Cummings last night 12-0.
Wow. They got a pretty strong baseball team, huh?
Yep. I went fishing today, caught 1 catfish and 20 brim.
That seems like
killing the brim, Steve.
I was about to say, man, that seems like you hit your limit on brim. Is there a limit on brim?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you, Brian.
My prediction.
Okay.
Mine was 71. Auburn Tigers 66 from Monday basketball.
71-66.
All right, thank you, buddy.
All right, on the roll.
Roll Tide.
And up against the break here, 71-66. That wouldn't do too well with me, but thanks for the prediction anyway, Brian. Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online. only at Gorey's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
What's different about Hyundai of Auburn? Beautiful cars built here from parts made here. That's jobs and tax money.
And right now, Max, record low finance plans. 0% interest and $42.50 cash to spend with no budget busting repairs for a full 10 years. Drive a new Hyundai today. Check it out, HyundaiofAuburn.com.
And my Max Markdown deals. Tell them Max sent you. I might get a bonus.
Max, you're not real.
What?
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. We're going to go right back to the phone line. And
not much of a segue there. I had a little story about how, like, I was typing.
You want to talk about myself the one fisheye?
No, but I was looking there and I was thinking how either I make my computer look really small or my computer makes me look really big. Felt like I was crammed in here trying to type on some kind of old-timey typewriter. But let's bring Brett on.
That's a great story.
You lead people into these things, man.
I see.
Hey, Brett.
What's going on, guys? How are y'all?
We're just trying to keep us on the rails, man.
That's a little tough, isn't it?
Sometimes.
It's going to be tough, but you can do it. That's why they pay you the big bucks. What's going on?
We can fight through it. Well, I know y'all talked a lot about the Auburn-Alabama game, so I'm not going to go there. I think there's something that we need to talk about that there's going to be some more information come out with the start of baseball season. Mississippi State with an unexpected resigning of Andy Cannonzaro, the 39-year-old head coach over there in Starkville, and they released a statement, and I think we're starting to see a lot of this go on in sports and the business world and everything else. But I think the statement said that he resigned because he made poor decisions. So, and there's some rumors of infidelity, and he's technically a young guy in the world of coaching at 39 years old. He's got 2 young kids. He's got a wife that's pregnant. So a lot of concern by parents for Mississippi State players and Mississippi State as a whole. So literally on opening weekend of the season, Mississippi State has to have one of their assistants step up and take the place of that guy. So I know, Luke, you're not the biggest baseball guy, but that is probably the biggest story heading into the first week of baseball season in the SEC.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And look, I think some people would argue that, okay, his personal life is his personal life and yada, yada, yada. But I'm a big proponent of, hey, you're a representative of the university. And also, if this was with a university employee, which is what is being alleged, I think it's certainly a deeper issue, especially in today's climate. I've always thought it was a fireable offense, no matter the situation. But I feel like in this situation specifically, with all that he already had going on in his life, and then this being a university employee, I don't think Mississippi State had a choice.
No, it didn't. And, again, I think we'll find out more. And you're right. I think what goes on in people's personal lives is their business. But when you get to a situation where you're a head coach over a big program and you're looked up to no different than an athlete, Auburn and Alabama football players probably at times would like to be just Joe Blow student out there and not have to worry about, every little thing that they do when they're out in public and all that. But, when you make that choice and you take on that stardom, it's kind of like Dak Prescott when he floated down to Panama City that time and, got in that fight. I think he learned a valuable lesson is that, there are give and takes on all of it. I mean, there's a lot of Joe Blow college students that would have liked to have been Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott at times would have liked to have just been, anonymous and hanging out on spring break, in Panama City just like a regular college student. So you make sacrifices on both sides. you know, when you put yourself in that position of leadership and higher stature, you know, again, it doesn't matter if you're a coach or just out in regular everyday life, just like us. You know, morals and ethics is and trying to raise a family and do things the right way should be what everybody abides by, but especially under a microscope when you're a coach.
Yeah, you know, Brett, that is funny that you bring that up, because one thing that coaches love to do is say, you know, here we're a family. It's all about family. Well, how about taking care of your real family first and then worry about your university family? I mean, again, I don't mean to make light of what is a very sad situation, but I mean, I just feel like that's one thing you always hear everybody talk about in recruiting nowadays. All the coaches love to tell you about family this and family that, and you know, how many times did Rick Pitino say stuff like that, how close he is with the, and then you hear about some of the stuff going on up there, and you who can you believe anymore?
Well, some coaches you have to
I think you're right.
check
I mean,
which
I
family.
think a lot of times, and I think coaches especially, like you said, you know, they go through the motions. They're so robotic. They just get caught up saying what they want parents and kids to hear, and they don't even abide by that themselves. It's kind of like they live a bipolar lifestyle. They talk about how they want their athletes and their players to act and to have the respect, but then they live a double life, or they lead a double life, and they go out and do the things that they actually preach for their players not to do. So it gets them in trouble. I said it on Auburn Blitz today. I think anytime you hear Rick Pitino's name moving forward, people are going to think of a sleazeball. You know, the things that he did off the court, the way he conducted himself, you know, the trouble that he's been in with recruiting, and you know, now Louisville having to officially forfeit that national championship, and you know, Kentucky the same way. I don't know how John Calipari's tenure will end at Kentucky, but if you look at him, I know everybody's been critical of Bruce Pearl and said that he hasn't passed. Well, there's nobody that's left a bigger trail of slime behind himself than John Calipari, from UMass to Memphis to now at Kentucky. And Kentucky's officials were warned not to hire him, or to be very leery of hiring him, but they hired him anyways because they know what it takes to win, and they want to stay on top in the SEC and in the country. And it's like Randy said, that's part of the game. I think they know what goes on, and that's what is leading to all this stuff with FBI. I think some of these bigger programs know what goes on, and they didn't really care that John Calipari had a scarred past and that he may bring some liability to the program. All they want to do is win, and that's why they hired him.
Yeah, I don't think I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying there. So, Brett, what do you think about Auburn going forward with McLemore's injury now, and how do you think that's going to affect the team?
Well, I talked about it on Gary Harris's show this morning in Tuscaloosa, and you know, Gary was asking the same thing about what does Auburn's future hold, and I said, you know, to be frank with you, on a team that's as thin as Auburn is or was already, and you were relying on a guy that was 6'7" to be your inside presence. Now, he wasn't a normal 6'7" guy. He did lead the conference in block shots, and he did give you that spark inside that we just didn't have. But now you lose him on top of everything else that's happened to this team. You know, it was like Auburn was playing on borrowed time, and everything had just really had to be perfect for them to maintain what they were doing. And now you're starting to see a team that looks tired to me. They haven't shot the ball very well the last 4 games. They just don't have a lot of depth. Now they lose their biggest guy inside in McLemore. It just doesn't bode well coming down the stretch, and Auburn's got 4 very tough games left on the schedule. And, you know, I could very easily see a scenario where if Auburn stays cold from the outside and they can't hit more than about 25% from the three-point line, that they lose 3 of these games, maybe all 4 of them. So it's a whole different world now that Anthony McLemore's not available. You're going to have Horace Spencer step up, and he's got to learn to play more discipline because he gets in foul trouble immediately when he comes into the game. So I think tomorrow we're going to see a lot about what this Auburn team is going to be about coming down the stretch.
Well, Brett, thanks so much for being with us tonight. We got to jump to a break. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Brett. Don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Live on the way right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457. What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold, and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Hour number 2 here up until 9 o'clock. Andy and Luke taking you up to then. We appreciate all of you out there joining us on Sports Blitz Live, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Switching our gears a little bit, we've been talking about the NCAA basketball tournament. We did find out Mississippi State did beat Texas A&M. That could be a big win.
Mississippi State now moves to 19-8. I'm going to have to check out Mississippi State's remaining schedule. I don't know that that's going to be enough. I mean, they just don't have a win you can really sink your teeth into. This A&M team now is probably going to have a losing record in the conference. So, I mean,
Lunardi's got them as a 6th seed, too.
Well, everybody has been – here's the thing. In basketball, if you schedule very difficultly and if you win just a couple of those games, they beat West Virginia. And I think that's, for whatever reason, that has just resonated with all these bracketologists. And also, I think NBA scouts are saying, hey, A&M's, they got that Robert Williams guy. They got all these 6'11 cats. They did go to Auburn and win. And I think some of those wins just have – they've been able to overlook the fact they started 0-5 in the conference. And now they're, 6-9?
I guess that is, a nice little comeback for them. But And is it just me? I just reading today that Jared Harper and Colin Sexton were teammates, and they have this friendship that goes back. Am I the one that missed that?
No, and thank God you said it. I appreciate your honesty because I was going to totally fake that I already knew that, and I didn't know that.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just odd because their coach was interviewed. I guess you read the same article I did. And their coach was talking about it, how, for the longest time, Colin couldn't beat Jared. He just couldn't beat him. And every time they'd keep playing, and finally Colin won one, and he said, let's do it again. They were like, well, you just won. What? He said, I want to make sure it wasn't a fluke. And so it's a little bizarre that they end up at Alabama and Auburn. And it's not like they talked about that to, I want to go against you or whatever. It just happened that way. Both very good players, and so it'd be interesting tomorrow night.
Yeah, but that's a little sidebar to that game. But anyway, shifting gears a little bit, just a few more minutes in this opening segment of the second hour here. College baseball getting underway this weekend, Luke's favorite sport. Talk a little bit about this. Of course, last year, Florida and LSU tied with conference 21-9 record. I think Auburn maybe have overachieved. They were headed to really compete for the SEC championship last year and ran into a very stern Alabama team. They ended up winning 5 games in the conference and got swept.
Strong.
At home.
Yeah. I remember it.
As do I. But Alabama, one-time coach, nobody remembers his name. He's going to be a footnote in the history books, but Brad Bohannon comes in from Auburn, kind of a new mentality. I know you've been keeping up with this.
Not really.
Not really. But do you expect?
Is there any need to?
Well,
I mean, we don't need to look at this until. I mean, we got 3 months till we even need to look and see what the standings are, right?
I guess. I mean, well, I've been kind of out of it a little bit, but you look up and it's almost March, and you got March Madness, you got spring football, you got college baseball, you got women's softball. I didn't know what to even. I mean, I feel bombarded.
And see, I'm kind of the other way. I'm kind of just on cruise control until the March Madness and then spring football. But I mean, if I had to tell the truth, I'm as looking forward to spring football as any of these other events. Definitely looking forward more to spring football than I am baseball or softball. And I know Alabama's good in softball, and they'll continue to be good. And in baseball, I think they started out 3-0 or they're 4-0 or whatever they are. But I'm not going to pay attention until later on. It just doesn't matter. I mean, they'll lose a midseason game to Samford. They'll go to Montgomery and get beat by Auburn like they do every year. And then they'll play Auburn in the regular season and do well like they do just about every year, it seems like. It seems like the same old song until something different happens. Now, I'm of the opinion that it's difficult to watch college baseball right this minute. Like Mississippi State got swept by Southern Miss, and it just doesn't matter.
You have to think that had something to do with Canizaro, though.
I mean, I would guess so.
I would hope so.
Yeah. If you're a Mississippi State fan, you hope so. You hope that was the problem.
Brett alluding to the statement that was made by Andy Canizaro. Earlier this morning, I accepted, that's the John Cohen, the AD, but he said, Andy said, I had a wonderful opportunity at Mississippi State, but unfortunately, I made some poor decisions. I hope Mississippi State University and all the fans and people affected will one day forgive me. Obviously, you have something to be forgiven.
Well, I mean, he came out, that's as close to admitting what we all think happened as you can come without saying what happened.
Yeah.
And what I can't believe in this, I mean, we have seen coaches get in trouble for this left and right. I mean, all you have to do is point to Petrino and say, you now, I guess the other way to look at it is Petrino's landed on his feet. I mean, he's still making millions.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
look at Rich Rod. I mean, is it just that this goes on more now today, or is it just that we hear about it more today?
I think we hear about it more today. I mean, there is, if you know a good coach there's probably been a story about him and some university employee who is a lot younger, or some co-ed who happens to be a little older. I mean, there is some story out there. I mean, there's always been a story, but that's what they were, is stories. And now people have evidence. People can take a quick picture or a video or see your texts or see who you've called very, very easily. Nobody sneaks around well anymore, because there's no such thing as sneaking around. There's a camera everywhere. You're going to get busted. And I mean, I don't understand why a guy who, if this is what happened, who has a pregnant wife at home and a family, and he's coaching in the SEC, had arguably one of the 4 best jobs in the SEC. Mississippi State baseball, historically, is one of the top 4 jobs in the SEC. Why would you give that up for, I don't care what she looked like or how attracted you were. I mean, common sense has to slap you in the face, but it never seems to do it, right?
No, apparently not. I mean, there's a weakness of character here.
You need, I've always said this, I've always said this.
I know you've always said
all the world's problems could be solved by listening to Hall & Oates songs, or you listen to Family Man. Leave me alone, I'm a family man, I got other stuff to do, I ain't got time for you. Now that last part isn't their lyric, but it would have worked in the song.
I think you're probably right. Up against another break here. We'll leave you with Hall & Oates. More to come right after this.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer, with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
New year, new you.
It's the Start Something New sales event going on now at Bice Motors in Alex City.
It's cold outside, but the deals are hot inside.
Save up to $13,000 on remaining 2017 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Laramie 4x4.
If you ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
2018 Jeep Cherokee Latitude Package, only $19,700.
On the web at BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for about 45 more minutes. Still trying to get over the national anthem rendition by Fergie, as she has apologized. I don't know if there's a need to.
Oh, I do.
Either.
I totally think so.
She tried for a unique rendition, and she succeeded. It was a unique rendition.
I know, but again, I just think some things you don't mess with.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I like the normal. I mean, it's written a certain way. It's supposed to be sung a certain way. And I'm all for that, but, you know.
It's not supposed to. Somebody tweeted out, like, right before it started, like a professional broadcaster, a female professional broadcaster tweeted out, this looks like it's going to be the sexiest anthem. It's not supposed to be sexy.
No.
It's not supposed to be.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. Listen, a sexy national anthem.
I mean, come on. Who has a sexy? If Brazil has a sexy national anthem, I'm okay. I get it. I'm with it. You know, maybe Cuba, maybe give me a France, Spain.
Maybe Spain. Okay.
Not England.
No, not Germany.
I think Germany's maybe like more of a dominating type.
Yeah, Uber-Rice, no. Auburn and Alabama will exceed expectations. College baseball. They're picked 5th and now they're picked 6th and 7th in the SEC West.
Well, I mean, they have nowhere to go but up, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And Mississippi State's already been swept by Southern Miss, so yeah, I mean.
You're going to go with true on that one?
Yeah.
And
you know, let me say this.
Stop you right
Let me stop you. Give me a minute to talk. It's sort of like I love how people, the whole notion of disrespect has gotten crazy. I talked to Brett and Randy about this the other day. Brett was talking about how one of the prognosticators picked Alabama and Georgia for the SEC title game next year, and he said the main reason I'm doing that is because of Tua Tagovailoa and because of Jake Fromm. And Brett said, well, where's the respect for Jarrett Stidham? And my thought is, I think we've carried this respect thing too far. That somebody's got to be picked 6th and 7th. And so if you look around the league and I'd probably look at Auburn and say, I probably wouldn't put Auburn 6th. I wouldn't. I think Auburn, baseball-wise, what little I know about it, they seem like they'd be better than that. But I have no problem with them picking Alabama 7th. And if Alabama ends up winning the league, I don't think that makes them look any dumber. Nobody could have seen that coming. It's like if the weatherman says there is a 5% chance of rain tomorrow, and then it rains, he's not an idiot. He told you, there's a 5% chance. We love to make up motivation. Jarrett Stidham's not being respected. Well, here's the thing. The last time we saw Tua and the last time we saw Jake, they were in the national championship game throwing darts. The last time we saw Jarrett Stidham, he threw a pick in the end zone against Central Florida. That's our lasting memory of them. It doesn't mean Jarrett Stidham's not good. It just means that's the taste each one of those players left with us. So we are going to naturally gravitate towards, hey, these other guys finished looking good. This other guy finished not looking so good. So this is what we're going to do. And same thing with baseball. Alabama won, what'd you say, 5 games in the conference last year? Where would you put them?
Oh, I'd put them dead last.
Okay. It doesn't insult me. If they do better, I'm going to applaud them instead of, point my finger at the other guy and say, y'all were so dumb. It's sort of like the 4-14 thing with Auburn. Where would you have put them? I didn't think they were going to. Did you think they'd be 23-4?
I didn't think they'd be 23-4. No.
You thought they'd be a little better than. I thought they'd be 9-9. Okay, they were a little off. They're much better than you thought too. Sure. They're much better than everybody thought. Some people just thought they'd be 4-14 because you got to pick somebody. If they pick somebody to win a bunch of games, they're not foolish to pick Kentucky to win a bunch of games, right?
Yeah.
They usually do.
Well, the whole notion of, you're well, or what am I trying to say? You're well-being determined by somebody else's version or prediction about you is kind of foolish anyway. Like you say, I mean, this whole idea of respect coming from, look, earn it. Go out there and win it. I don't care where, I don't care where preseason predictions go because they're meaningless. They have no bearing.
It is filler.
On, yeah, it's filler. They have no bearing on the results of what's going to happen. So, I get where you're coming from, and it makes a good point.
The only time that I agree with somebody using the nobody gave us a chance thing was when Crazy Tony Brown, after the Clemson game, said nobody expected we'd be here. Well, first of all, Tony, everybody expected you'd be there, but it only makes sense coming from him because they call him Crazy Tony Brown. So I kind of got it. I kind of understood what he was talking about. But, I mean, it's like Alabama using the, we shocked the world motivate. You're not shocking the world right now. Now, if Alabama baseball wins the SEC,
that's shocking.
That'd at least shock the state, the people that are watching college baseball. But it's still, again, I don't fault, somebody's got to be picked there. You know what I mean? And if I looked at Alabama's roster and what Alabama's had in terms of coaching turnover, and I looked at the other teams in the league, and you look at Texas A&M, who's got every resource imaginable. You look at Mississippi State before the Southern Miss thing, and you think, hey, that's a program that always does well. Ole Miss has been strong lately. Arkansas, they may be the best team in the league. So I would say, yeah, I'd pick Alabama and Auburn maybe 6th and 7th, maybe Auburn 5th.
So you're saying Alabama will not exceed expectations?
No, I'm saying they have nothing to do but exceed expectations. I just don't want people making fun of the prognosticators who picked them last. Okay. I'm pro-prognosticator.
I won't make fun of them. I won't make fun of them.
I'm pro-prognosticator. That's what I'm trying to say.
How about 8 teams in the NCAA tournament? Baseball.
8 teams in baseball?
They got 8 teams in last year.
I don't know. I have no idea.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams ranked right now. I mean, 8 teams ranked right now in the top 25.
I mean, South Carolina is always there, right? Arkansas is
not even ranked right now, though.
Okay, Arkansas will be there. They are ranked.
They are number 6 in the country.
Vandy's always there.
Vandy's always there.
Florida's always there.
Florida's number 1 in the country.
Kentucky's a lot better.
Yeah.
A&M, I think, I just told you, they've got all the resources and they're always somehow good at this. LSU, man, they're going to be good.
Number 9 in the country.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess over. Because I think Auburn will get there.
You could squeeze in an Auburn.
I think Auburn will get there.
So 9 teams you would maybe take as an over.
A better over-under question would have been, does SEC baseball get more teams in the tournament or SEC basketball get more teams? And I would say SEC baseball.
This is a good.
Feel free to use that next week.
I appreciate that. And that's probably a good question. I think that's probably accurate, too. SEC baseball, still the premier conference in the country. 3 teams in the College World Series.
Yeah,
we can get it out early.
How many do we have last year?
We're going to record this and play it back.
How many do we have? So you can make fun of it?
Yeah. I don't.
How many do we have last year?
I don't know. Probably at least 3 or 4.
Okay, well, I'll say over. Sure. Why not?
Up against the break, and not a moment too soon. We'll be back with more of Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
The door's open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Foshee Sportz on Dable Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Foshee Sportz on Dable Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
LMG Advertising Agency offers a comprehensive marketing solution tailored to each of our clients' needs. We are a full-service marketing firm offering website design and development, video production, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and overall branding that includes logo design, brochures, mailouts, and more. Our experienced team of marketing professionals would love to come up with a marketing strategy that will deliver results for you and your business. Learn more at lmgadagency.com or call today to start at 256-825-0197.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Peaches and Clean, caring for your floors and a whole lot more in East Central Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. About 30 more minutes left in tonight's program. Switching gears, talking about softball as it's underway now as well. I'm dragging you through.
And it's like, have a segment and drag Luke. Have a segment and drag Luke. I mean,
this is what the people want.
Yeah, but does anybody know anything about? I mean, God bless softball. I mean, we enjoy Alabama and Auburn being great, and it's fun as we get into it. Have you paid attention to it yet? I mean, I'm not meaning that as an insulting way to the softball players.
Why do you hate women?
Oh gosh, please don't even do that. I mean, today's climate, that's not even a. There's going to be a lot of Luke Robinson hashtag. Don't do all that, man.
I have not. Well, I mean, I paid attention to it. If you're an Auburn fan, you paid attention to it because new coaching change, because of everything that's been going on. Yet another program that's had some turmoil around it. But
because
yet
of
it
an
seems
assistant
like,
and
because
allegedly some
shenanigans
stuff.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. But look, I mean, right now, I mean, Auburn and Alabama both off to really good starts. Auburn played 13 games already.
That's another thing. I mean, they end up being like 80-10.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin said, "How are the soccer teams doing?" But now let me guide you somewhere.
Please. Okay.
Toolman Kirk said, "Alabama and Auburn football. Who do we feel will be the top freshman or redshirt freshman to contribute next season?" I'll let you go first with Auburn.
Ooh. The top freshman to contribute next year for Auburn. Probably going to be at running back, I would imagine. Asa Martin going to get a great chance to come in and compete right away. Errol Joyner, I don't know. I mean, do you see him as a college level SEC running back?
Gosh,
You've
I don't know.
Seen him more than I have, or
I don't. Well, he wasn't at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I've seen him. He was at the Army All-American game, I think, but he didn't do a whole lot in that game. He's sort of an upright runner. He's powerful. He's a first off the bus guy. But I don't think he set the world on fire, specifically last year. In fact, I think there was another running back at Mountain Brook who had more yards than he did. But he was a little banged up. And I think there was a reason that both Alabama and Auburn were hesitant to offer him for a while, because it was one of those head scratchers of, hey, where exactly do we put him on the field?
Yeah, is he definitely a running back?
Yeah, that's going to be.
If he wants to block, we put him at tight end.
Yeah. If you want to go to, look, who's the scientist everybody loves so much? Stephen Hawking.
Okay.
If he wants to study black holes, he needs to go to Auburn and look at the tight end position. But for Alabama, I would say
Cornish Miller too is another one I think.
And I'm not. This is not me trying to be one up. I think it's Connis Miller. I have asked people who recruit. Talk to recruits all the time.
Well, don't spell it COY then.
I don't know what to tell you about that. I didn't have any control of that. I was calling him Coinus Miller throughout, and I thought he was going to be so cool. Like if he did sign with Alabama and he had a sack and stopped a drive, it was going to be Coinus Interruptus. I was going to have that on a shirt. I thought it'd be kind of cool. It didn't work out. Now Connis is like, okay, it sounds okay.
I'll say it any way he'd like for me to say it.
That's true. He's a big dude, and he can catch you too. He's pretty fast.
Connis.
I think that's how you pronounce it. That's who people who have talked to him on the phone have told me that's how you say his name.
Wonderful. Connis Miller. Coynis.
How about C. Mill?
No.
No. Okay. So for Alabama, I think Patrick Surtain and Josh Jobe are two names in the defensive backfield. I think if you're going to look for somebody to be a superstar next year, it's going to be in Alabama's defensive backfield, because they lost practically all of their defensive backfield. And the other name, though, that I'm so excited about this guy, and I shouldn't be. I'm trying to temper my enthusiasm I try to temper my enthusiasm generally for skill position guys, because it's very difficult to live up to the expectations fans put on them. For a running back, like this, when you say Asa Martin, I've heard a lot of Auburn fans talk about him. He's going to come in and do this. He's going to come in and do this. And now he was awesome for Austin Decatur. But he at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, he didn't do a lot. That doesn't mean he's not going to be good. But I also stood next to him. He was a little bit smaller than I thought he was going to be. Again, doesn't mean he's not going to be good. But if he has 400 yards rushing on the season, which isn't bad for a true freshman, some people will probably be like, he didn't do much. It's not bad.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a true freshman skill position player, you've got to do more to really wow people. So, drum roll, please. The guy I'm most excited about is the Jalen Waddle out of Texas for Alabama. I love watching his tape. I just think he's electric. I think he's fun. I think I've made this prediction. He'll be the first guy to touch the ball for Alabama next year, because he'll be on the kickoff team, and so he will get the kickoff. He'll be the first guy to touch the ball.
He's just a special teams guy.
He's special teams, but he's a wide receiver guy too. Now Alabama's got a lot of wide receivers coming back, so it's going to be difficult to crack that rotation. But I think he can do it. I want to see him obviously get in there and catch a pass or two. It'd certainly be nice. But he did score a touchdown in the Army All-American game, and I think he's a heck of a player.
Well, on the Auburn side, the same way. Sean Shivers. I don't know which.
I think it's Shivers, but I hadn't heard about that.
He's either going to be electric or he's going to get killed. He's 5'9", 100, whatever, soaking wet. And Anthony Schwartz, the fastest guy that's ever been recruited in the history of mankind, from what I understand. I want to see these two guys in action. I'd like to see them in pass, see what they can do on a football field. Shivers is going to be a special teams guy, but he's also going to, be put out there in third down situations, as well as, I guess, in the slot, and probably line up at tailback a time or two. A very versatile guy, but kind of guy that small. I don't know. That's the $1 million question right now for Auburn going into fall camp. Who's going to win that job? I've seen, who's the I can't even remember the guy's name now. I've lost it so much that we used to talk about during the season. He would come and go.
The transfer from Baylor?
Yeah.
Whose name?
Cam Martin.
Cam Martin, there we go. With a K. Cam with a K.
Yeah. Is he going to get a real solid opportunity to win the job? I don't know.
He looks, again.
He's a karma chameleon. He comes
with
and
a
goes.
K. He looks, when he's out there, he looks small.
He does, but he averages about 8 or 9 yards a carry.
He does. Again, I feel like I've always we're good cop, bad cop here. He's getting 8 yards a carry usually because he's in the game later. But because Gus Malzahn wanted to run Kerryon Johnson straight into the dirt.
Hold that thought. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll continue these discussions. More to come on Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Is our #1 concern. Advanced heat and air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Game day. Last season you were watching football at the mercy of that loathed cable company and your weird roommate with the ornery chinchilla. But today you're going to watch wherever the Wild you want. You go here, Wild Wind Cafe. They've got all the games on more screens than you can count. And cute roommates. This is just the Wild you need. So go wild, superfan. We can't help you choking QB, but we do have cold beer.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
East Central Alabama asked for it, and Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoors has answered with the region's full-service Mahindra Tractor and UTV dealer on Highway 280 in Alex City next to Tallapoosa Ford. Full lines of Mahindra Tractor, E-Max, Max 1500 Series to 5500 Series. We have the world's #1 tractor line. Get the job done as well with full lines of the world's toughest UTVs and accessories. Visit the all-new Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor in Alex City. True grit never taps out with Mahindra Tractors, UTVs, and accessories.
What do you see when you think about your future?
Do you see determination that keeps you going, that helps you make a difference in your world?
Do you see challenges that make you stronger?
Southern Union State Community College realizes that your opportunities for greatness are unlimited. Your journey has just begun.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. About 20 more minutes left in tonight's show. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. We are squeezing every drop of it out tonight. but that's okay. Talking about spring football as it is upon us. We're talking about the NCAA tournament, baseball season getting underway in college baseball, college softball underway as well. Games today. Auburn able to pull one out from Georgia State. That was a big win.
Walk-off style.
Walk-off style. Alabama starting the season. Hey, and again, you lose. Alabama was 19-34 last year, 5-24 in the league. To get off to a 4-0 start, it's a good.
I mean, it's the best you can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's great. Until Alabama plays somebody, I'm not going to really worry about it. Now, I did just notice Alabama and Florida State, I think they're ranked 8 and 9 or 9 and 10. They play each other in softball this weekend. Now, see, I could watch that. I could say, okay, I'm going to watch the end of that game. I'm not going to sit through an entire softball game or baseball game until much later on. Like if I know it's down to the final at bat or something, I would have watched the end of that Auburn-Georgia State game.
Yeah.
But the most diehard of Auburn fans ain't going to have a hard time sitting through Auburn-Georgia State. I don't care what the score is from beginning to end, right?
That's probably true.
Okay.
I don't.
But see, football-wise, that's why football. So because even the games like that, we got a whole week to dissect them and figure it out. And this guy got in the second quarter. What does that mean for the depth chart and whatever? And baseball is sort of like, hey, even if we lose, it's one game out of 60.
But that's why you need like 5 sports to bridge you to the gap in between football.
I need football. I need recruiting, and I need basketball.
That's why you like recruiting. Everybody doesn't. That
they should. Apparently that's where all the really good games are played.
Most normal people don't like recruiting.
I think you're wrong about that.
Really?
I mean, look, I'm not about me being abnormal. I think you're wrong about. I think recruiting has become a gigantor business. I think more people follow.
I didn't say it wasn't a business.
I think more people follow football recruiting than they follow college baseball religiously. You think I'm stepping out of bounds?
I would think that maybe there are more people that delve into it deeper than they would, but I think you'll have more on a broader spectrum of fans going to college baseball games.
I'll say this. I'd be willing to bet that, say, an average 4-star, Harold Joyner, let's throw him out there, 4-star guy. I'd be willing to bet there were more tweets about Harold Joyner's committing to Auburn than there are any Auburn baseball game that's not in the SEC tournament or NCAA tournament.
More tweets.
Tweets. That's how we judge things.
That's how we
judge.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, you have a Twitter account.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I operate it. And boy, you have looked at some terrible stuff.
Yeah, well, okay. You heard it.
You've been
warned. Yeah. Auburn won't miss Clint Myers in 2018. True or false?
I'll say true, because he needed to go. I mean, the whole situation. If Auburn still had him, I think there'd be so many questions surrounding him. I don't think they'll miss him at all, and I think this new coach is pretty good. I don't remember his name.
Mickey Dean.
But he came from Virginia Tech, or
he came from James Madison.
James Madison. I knew it was some Virginia something, and James Madison was like ranked number 9 or number 8 last year. I mean, they were strong.
You won't hear a national anthem there, but ever the right way. Alabama will challenge to win the SEC.
I mean, I'm gonna say, why won't they? True. Yeah. I mean, Florida's going to win it, but they'll be in it.
I think Florida will win it yet again, but they never win the SEC tournament.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you've already made mention that the SEC tournament doesn't matter if you already won the conference.
The surprise team in the SEC. Pick a surprise team.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Florida State's really going to surprise in the SEC this year. That would be
a huge surprise to everybody out there. About 50 wins for Auburn and Alabama.
I'm going to say over, because they always win more than that.
Auburn won 49 last year.
Okay, well, I missed it one time. They're going to do it this year, though. They did it last year amidst controversy.
Yeah, they did.
There were some things going on. There was some inner turmoil, even before we all
Couldn't
knew what
get
was
on the
happening,
bus, yeah.
they knew what was happening.
Oh, yeah.
So
And 3 teams in the college
Over.
World Series.
Over.
Half the league.
Yeah.
I mean, half the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's going to be
Bracket.
in there. Alabama or Auburn or both will be in there. I'm not putting a neither option. Tennessee's always up there. Who else is good? LSU's always pretty strong. Georgia's not bad.
This is the thing about the SEC softball. Georgia last year, perennially a very good team, won 35 games. They were dead last in the SEC.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's 6-8 team.
It takes Alabama football 2 years to win that many games.
So over 50. Okay, well, we'll get there. Oh, we're still on there. Oh, okay.
I know. I'm sort of counting on you to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Well, we still got a couple more segments. I mean, a couple more minutes in this last.
Okay. Well, you want to just go ahead and do your rank them for the.
Let's save that for the.
Why don't we have an airing of grievances?
You got some grievances?
I mean, I'm sure I will by the time we get to that segment.
All right. You can rank these then. Olympic sports, we're in the spirit of the season. Curling, figure skating, bobsledding, biathlon, ski jump.
Well, by bob, you don't mean luge. You mean are they 2 different things?
Well, team is bobsledding.
Okay.
Luge, I think, is like one.
Okay, I'm going to go with curling. I'm going to stick with curling at 1.
You like curling number 1?
Yeah, because I think it's the
Shuffleboard on
it is, but it's the one sport that everybody watching thinks I can do that.
That's true.
And it's not fair because, I mean, the Russians were doping, apparently, for curling. And we think they fixed our election, and they can't do. They can't win curling on their own.
Yeah.
But anyway, so curling 1. I'm going to go with ski jump 2 because agony of defeat. It just sort of comes to mind. I'm going to go. I guess I'll go figure skating 3 because if it's
You're
good.
telling about yourself now.
I know. If it's good figure skating, though, you can kind of get into it. And like when that dude who turned down the position to be an analyst for NBC, I can't remember. They're all named Johnny. Johnny something.
Brian Boitano?
Whatever his name was. He went up to the judges and he did one of these, these things. And I was thinking, man, I don't care what you say. That takes some cojones.
Right. Okay. Well, bated breath. We'll come back and we'll finish out this segment. The last segment of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
Needing extra space at your house? Check out Easy Storage Units on Tallapoosa Street, 1 mile from downtown Alex City. With state-of-the-art 24-hour surveillance, you can rest easy knowing all of your possessions will be safe and secure. Easy Storage has any size unit you need, from 5x10s up to 10x20s. Call Easy Storage today at 256-794-8223 to rent your unit today. That's Easy Storage, 256-794-8223.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sportz Blitz Live. Doing an old-fashioned rank 'em here to close things out. We're talking about the Olympic sports. The Winter Olympics going on right now. Riveting.
Oh,
riveting.
Man, it's
riveting.
Have you, Lindsey Vonn not even medaling, and she had to go first. That also took some drama out of it. I feel like, and I know this is probably USA being a little privileged, but I feel like we should always go last in every event. You know, because we're the ones watching this thing.
How do you feel like Norway kicking our rear end?
It's the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. But it's one thing if Canada.
Let's roll the ball out of midcourt and see how Norway does.
Okay. We didn't finish curling, figure skating, bobsledding, biathlon.
Well, I said curling 1, I said ski jump 2, figure skating 3, bobsledding 4, and then biathlon 5.
Hey, anything with a gun, come on.
Look, I know, but again, we're in a bad climate for being a biathlon member right now.
Well, yeah, but out on a snowy meadow.
But I will say, I watched it the other night. I tried to watch it. It's kind of, the guy that was announcing it, the color guy, I guess you have a color guy for biathlon. He was getting into it. He said, "Oh, this is amazing. Here he comes from, 6.9 seconds back." And I'm thinking, how do you... But anyway, so they get to the shooting part, right? And he's like, "Oh my gosh, he missed. And he missed. He's got a shot to make it." And it looked like they had to do like a penalty lap. But I wasn't paying enough attention to know. But again, in my mind, I was like, they have to do a penalty lap. That's how little you had to show me to convince me they had to do a penalty lap.
That's tough. Penalty lap on the.
Not while they're shooting at them. You do the penalty lap behind the other dudes.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
How about Olympic songs? Chariots of Fire, or Olympic movies, I'm sorry. Chariots of Fire, Miracle.
Chariots of Fire is 1, first of all.
Cool Runnings, Foxcatcher, Munich.
Okay, I hadn't seen Foxcatcher. Miracle was good, but I'd go Cool Runnings second. It sort of, everybody knows the Jamaican bobsled team because of that, right?
That's true.
I'd go Miracle 3, and then the other 2 I hadn't seen, so whatever. Asterisks. Vacated their wins.
Did you not like Miracle?
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay. Not great.
It's sort of like that friend of mine who said, when I was trying to tell her that I went to see Apollo 13, she goes, "Hey, don't tell me how it ends. I hadn't seen it yet." I knew how this ended.
This is true.
Takes a little drama out of it.
Chariots of Fire, that's far and away number 1, right?
Oh, just for the music alone.
Yeah.
That is timeless.
It is. It's actually a very good movie and a very good story and a true story. Now, they took some embellishment, but
every movie does.
Yeah.
And whoever came up with that music ought to be just rolling in money right now, sleeping with supermodels. I mean, that is just the
and
best
that was
ever.
He was thinking. Exactly, John.
If I could just get this theme song, this Chariots at the Fire thing, I'll never hurt for a date again.
Anthems in sports stadiums. The Final Countdown, Eye of the Tiger, Sweet Caroline, Thunderstruck, Welcome to the Jungle.
I'm going to go, first of all, Final Countdown, this is a professional song, and the rest of these are amateurs. The Final Countdown was made incredibly popular by Arrested Development. Job, did you watch the Arrested Development? If you haven't, you must. This is a series that was on Fox.
Okay.
It was unbelievable. Jason Bateman, it's incredible. So Job, who was a failed magician, made the Final Countdown by Europe, the greatest song that's ever been. I'm going to go with Thunderstruck, number 2, because I think that's the opening guitar. I kind of like Eye of the Tiger, but I'm going to go Welcome to the Jungle next, Eye of the Tiger, and then Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline, like, you got to be winning to sing that. Like, it's pretty morbid if you sing it while your team's getting beat.
And that is going to wrap up Sports Blitz Live for this Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. For Luke Robinson, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Even the best of us forget sometimes. But buckling up is one thing you always want to remember.
Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it